Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of the FPL Affairs podcast, the podcast that strips back and lays bare our season-long love affair with FPL. In our Game Week 11 transfers and predictions video, Weasel and myself discuss the fixtures, how many does he feel will finish with his favourite scoreline, we reveal which players Hippo believes will well and truly score this weekend, before Dove joins us to discuss transfer options. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for all of our content, and click that bell to be notified each time we release something new. Anyway, enough of my small talk. Let's get cracking.
And there's Mo Salah. There goes Haaland. He's on his way again. He's hungry. He's scored. Ice cold precision from Palmer. Oh, Saka! That is a diamond of a goal.
Greetings, everybody, to the latest episode of the FPL Affairs podcast with me, Matt, aka the FPL Affairs Magpie, and alongside me, as usual for this time, in his Oxford shirt, the FPL Affairs Weasel, also known as Paul. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm good. It's good to be back after having no signal last week, so I couldn't join you.
Yeah, it was unusual. Disappointed with Kieran. Sorry about, well, one, apologies if you heard my phone beep, so I'll put that on Do Not Disturb. But Kieran's decided that he's not going to share his five-star challenge predictions with his face on screen. Instead, it's going to be me reading out his words. Says he's too tired. But what? That's not an
I think we've been
excuse.
too mean to him when he's been on it.
He can't take the
But yeah,
banter.
Kieran, we miss you. You need to come back on. It's been ages, mate.
And I've just noticed I keep blurring into the background because of what what shirt I'm wearing. Yeah.
It's not too
Anyway,
bad unless you move.
freeze, stay frozen. Anyway, we're getting a little bit off the point, and I'm starting to talk later, Robert, so I'll have to actually get the slides started. Right. Well, we covered your team the other night as you were on the Game Week 10 Unwrapped. So should we take a look at the Game Week 11? Yes, it is Game Week 11, isn't it?
It is,
I'm
yeah.
losing track of my numbers. Yeah. Game Week 11 fixtures. Right. I decided for our transfers and predictions video, I decided I'd put a bit of rather than just putting up on the thumbnails who generally did well the previous week, it was thinking, okay, what decisions are going to be made? And one, a lot of people I think are going to be umming and ahhing about Gyökeres because of his injury situation. So I thought he's the talking point, so I'll put up him there, not looking best pleased. And alongside him, Danny Welbeck. So if you're looking at saving some pennies, he could be an option, which will be, I think it's two. Testing my maths now. 2.6, I think 2.6 million difference, if my maths is correct. But anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm going to stop rambling and ramble through the fixtures. So we've got, with it being Saturday, 11 o'clock deadline, because there is a lunchtime kickoff, which is Spurs at home to Manchester United. So, information about a new game or challenge that Weasel has put to me for these fixtures is, if you remember when he was on 2 weeks ago and we spoke through this, he had a tendency to predict quite a few 2-2 draws. So, his challenge to me is to predict if his prediction of the fixture scoreline is 2-2. But you're not allowed to change your mind. Should
Okay.
have got you with a notepad and paper and to like hold it up, write it down or something, and then just hold up so you can't change your mind.
I can give you a thing. You can guess now how many fixtures I think are till this week.
Right, okay. Without naming the fixtures, in terms of which out of the 10 of them, I'm thinking mm, 5.
Close. Very close. You know me well.
Yeah, I'm
So,
predicted you would put how many then?
6, I think, are going to be two draws.
Right.
I do like my tool draw. I should really put a thing of the accumulator on it, really. If it comes in, I'll be a very rich man.
Right. You're predicting at 6, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'll have a guess at which fixtures I think those 6 are. Right. Spurs Man U,
Correct?
um, Chelsea Wolves,
Incorrect?
Hmm. um, Villa Bournemouth.
Correct?
So it's Spurs Man U, Villa Bournemouth, Palace Brighton,
Correct?
City Liverpool.
Correct? Two more.
Right. I'm going to say I don't necessarily agree with you, but I have a suspicion because of the Jared Bowen love you have, West Ham, Burnley,
Correct?
and Brentford, Newcastle.
No, I wouldn't be that mean to you.
Well, the form we are away from home, I'll take a 2 or draw against Brentford. Um,
Think which ones are the easy wins in there. Just for elimination, you should get there.
you don't think Everton Fulham's going to be a 2-2 draw, surely?
No, I think it'll be a draw, but not 2-2.
Not Forest Leeds.
Yep.
Seriously?
Uh-huh. I know Leeds aren't great away from home, but obviously Forest playing brilliantly.
I can't see. I can barely imagine either of them scoring 2 goals, let alone conceding 2. I can see,
Uh,
but each of them scoring 2 at the same time. Hmm.
we will see.
We shall see. So draw heavy weekend anyway is Weasel's
Yeah,
prediction.
7 draws, I think.
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. I need to put an accumulator on it. I'll be very rich if it comes in.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Very rich, and then you can pay for someone to do the editing for this and make the appearance all much more whizzy and fancy than what I managed to scrape together. But anyway.
Yeah.
So there's that ramblings of 2-2 draw predictions. Spurs Man U, you're predicting 2-2. I'll go
Yeah,
2-1
Man United
Spurs.
a little lot better.
Pardon?
2-1 Spurs, you reckon?
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it'll be a tight game, but yeah, Man United's putting up good numbers. Spurs are letting in goals.
Well,
They'll see that at home and better at home.
I'm wondering whether with Mohamed wildcard in this week, I wonder whether after his goal last night, whether he's going to keep Mickey van der Ven.
Yeah, he's a tough one. Now, obviously, they've got to play the worst run of fixtures coming up, apart from the promoted teams.
Mm,
But obviously, he's got a thing of habit of scoring goals. So it's one of those
mm,
players who can get you 1 point or he'll get you a whole 17 points or more.
exactly. Um, Everton Fulham. You've said 2-2 draw, you suspect. I
I
think
do.
no, you
I said
didn't.
1-1 draw.
I'd be more inclined to go with that. I think 1 or draw or possibly 2-1 Everton, which isn't too far from a 2 or draw, but
Yeah, it's only
West
good at home. So yeah, Fulham are
West
a good
Ham
defensive team.
West Ham will beat Burnley if they perform anything like they did when they played us, although to be fair, we didn't help ourselves, we were rubbish. Um, if West Ham play anything remotely like that, then they'll win that game.
Yeah, Burnley aren't great away from home, but obviously West Ham, apart from the game against you, they haven't been brilliant either.
Mm.
So
Um,
it's very tactical.
Sunderland, Arsenal. 5:30 kickoff on Saturday.
Yeah, will Sunderland be the team finally to score against Arsenal?
Well,
Their home record.
Sunderland at home, they're quite tight defensively. They don't necessarily score loads. So I suspect it will be 1-0 to the Arsenal.
I'd say 2-0.
Chelsea Wolves.
Chelsea should win unless they decide to pay their roulette again of their team selection and balls it up like they did in Champions League tonight.
Mm, yeah, possibly.
Wolves have sacked their manager. Might have is I know in place yet. I haven't looked.
Mm, not that I'm aware of at the moment. We're recording this Wednesday evening, so after a busy day, we might have missed an announcement. We might not have done. Let us know in the comments if you have heard anything. Aston Villa Bournemouth, you've already said you think is 2-2. To be honest, I can envisage that. Um, Brentford Newcastle. Um,
I
I
reckon
would.
your edge at 2-1.
I'll take that. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm not going to dispute that. I'm not necessarily 100% confident that will happen, but I will definitely take it.
Brentford are good at home, so obviously you was appalling last game, so
Palace Brighton.
2, I think. But
Mm,
Brighton are so unpredictable.
I do
Um,
think they'll score though. I do think they'll score against Palace. Um, and Brighton
yeah, he
continue
seems
to
to be
play.
scoring for fun again at the moment. So,
Mm,
but obviously Palace are one of the best defensive sides. So,
yeah, so it might be a Palace 2-1 job or a 1-1 maybe. Or in your opinion, 2-2.
mhm.
Forest Leeds, you've said you think's 2-2. And Man City Liverpool 2-2.
Yeah, that's the Liverpool. I can't see keeping the clean sheet, and I can't. I think the Man City won't either. So it'll definitely be a score draw. But they're
Mm.
both scoring quite freely, but they're also conceding. So
And they're at home, so Haaland's bound to get his customary 2 goals. The way he's
yeah,
on at the
Haaland's
moment,
a tough
playing at
call
the
this
end.
week.
I was surprised he only got one in the Champions League tonight. Maybe he was being
Yeah, he's
generous.
my captain.
I don't know how my captain did, so as yet, because I haven't looked after this evening's scores.
Who's your captain?
I decided to captain. I did have it on Haaland, and then I'd gone with triple into defence, and then my goalkeeper last night kept a clean sheet and got save points. So I thought, right, okay, so I'm not going to put in the Inter goalkeeper. Um, and I had double defence, Dumfries and Bastoni. Bastoni, I couldn't decide whether to put him in, um, whether to bring him in place of McTominay, who got 5 points last night. In the end, I decided against it, which turned out to be okay from what I've seen, because the last thing I know about that fixture was the starting lineup and that Bastoni was benched. So I thought, right, I'm therefore playing one Inter player, whereas several people, if they could, would have triple up. So I captained Dumfries. So I have no idea how he did. He might have flopped, he might have kept a clean sheet, he might have done whatever. So people might be
John and
laughing
I.
at that. Pardon?
John and I.
Go on then.
Yeah, they conceded one goal, and he didn't get any goal moments.
He blanked.
Yeah, a very disappointing day tonight on Champions League.
How many did Haaland get in terms of points? I know he scored what once.
I think he only got 6 points, unless he got any bonus
Uh,
from what I've seen.
so potentially six. So 12 or 8 point swing.
Uh, you still beat me again.
Well, I play
I've had
despite
an awful week.
despite what people think, I played my limitless chip, which for those of you that don't play UCL Champions League, limitless is basically a free hit but with unlimited budget. So most normal people play it when all the big expensive players have got good home fixtures. What little old me decided to do this week was when the big hitters had tricky fixtures, then all those players, the big players that were in my squad, I thought, well, I don't want them this week, so I'll take them out and I'll replace them with players from decent teams that are at home, and we'll see how it did.
Yeah, it's a rare week. Mappe, Kane, and Rashford all blanked.
Well, I didn't include Kane in the squad. Haaland I did, and Mbappe I did um, keep, and then I went with triple Arsenal. That worked out. I went double Tottenham defence, including Van de Ven. That certainly paid off. I had Saka as part of my triple Arsenal, so did okay. We'll see what my final total came up. But anyway, that's Champions League, not this one, not FPL. So, Hippo's Crystal Ball 5-star challenge, which is basically five predictions, five player predictions, and they're the five players he believes will well and truly score this weekend. For the game week's best overall player, he's gone with Enzo Fernandez. And his reasoning is a bit of a punt against a bad Wolves team. So that's his prediction for the best overall player. His top performing differential prediction, so that's under 5% owned, is Paqueta, because he isn't playing too bad for West Ham. The most saves star, he's gone for Johnston, as he thinks Chelsea will have quite a few shots. Although, isn't Sarr the Wolves keeper? Or is he injured?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure
That'll
he
be.
started the last game. I can let. I take it he's done his research and it is him.
Mm, we shall see. Um, Game week's highest scoring defender, predictable, but also sensible, Gabriel, because lo
You
and
might have
behold,
to
he's
ban Gabriel in future.
what ban Gabriel and ban Haaland. So
Yeah.
you're not allowed to include them on your stars.
Uh,
Um, but saying that about Haaland, he has not included Haaland this week, and he's gone for his prediction for double-digit midfielder or forward to be Jared Bowen against Burnley, as he can see him getting a couple. What are your thoughts on his predictions this week?
yeah, Enzo should start. He was benched today. So yeah, obviously it's on set pieces, penalties. So obviously yeah, Wolves are the worst team in the league. So yeah, he might be right with that one. Potentially obviously on penalties for West Ham.
Quite possibly.
Um,
Mm,
yeah, obviously they're looking a lot better if they play Potts again. So and they've got a good fixture. So yeah,
yeah,
he's Johnson is the starting keeper for Wolves. I've just checked. So he will be up against it if they're back how Chelsea are playing at the weekend. Pedro has his 5 shots on target again.
of course, undoubtedly.
After
Maybe you're
everyone's got
better.
rid of him.
Maybe you're better. It was six.
Uh, but yeah, Roofs might be my shout for that. And playing Arsenal.
Mm, we shall see.
And
So this week, Kieran's challenging FPL Affairs Firefly.
is that Mark?
That's Mick.
Uh,
Mick, Firefly, you're up against Kieran. See if you can give us a lead. Right. Potential transfers out. Normally we spend too long on this rather than players in, so I think we need to set ourselves a challenge of getting through these in about less than 5 minutes. Um, Players to get rid of, goalkeepers, top three, do you reckon, to get out if you've got
I got rid of Roofs this week. A bit of a spoiler because they've got the worst fixtures coming up. Um, Vicario from Tottenham. Their fixtures are turning now.
Vicario.
Yeah, Vicario. And maybe Pickford if anyone does own him. 'Cause their fixtures
Predicted
aren't.
um predicted to get almost 17 points over the next five is Pickford, which is the
Yeah,
fifth
he's got
highest.
Fulham, Man United, Newcastle, Bournemouth, and Forest,
Mm,
and then Chelsea after that.
Save points, but
Yeah, I
um,
can't see many clean sheets.
yeah,
Maybe only Forest.
it's generally the same sort of names for goalkeepers. Um, Now, you mentioned with the fixture ticker with Sunderland, moving on to the defenders, would you go as far as saying to actually get rid of Sunderland defenders?
It depends what strategy you're playing. If you're playing five at the back, there's something you'd have to consider. But if you're only playing four at the back, it would just be your third place on the bench, and that's worth keeping hold of for 4 million. That's a cheap bench option, and it's whether you want to decide to go for the Defcons with the players.
Mm,
They might start seeing the true Sunderland now. They got a few.
Truth.
They've got Arsenal, Fulham, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Manchester City, and you guys and Newcastle.
Yeah,
So
over the
yeah,
coming.
it'd be interesting to see how they are after those six, where they're in the league. And that, but I
It
can't see
will
many
because they've
points
had
from
a
them games.
they've had a very very good long. I don't want to knock what they've done because they have done well with the games they've played, but they have had an easier run of fixtures. Not an easy one, but an easier or less difficult one than most of the other clubs. So um, we shall see how they hold up when they get through a trickier fixture run. Other than
Do you like
Sunderland,
three? Well, defenders.
yeah,
Obviously, Spurs have got not a great run. So as we were saying a minute ago, fan
mm,
defenders have a huge headache. But apart from him, any other Spurs defenders I'd get rid of.
yeah, I'd possibly think, especially if you've had him a while and built up um, team value with him, then it would possibly be worthwhile if he can be, excuse me, if you're playing three at the back then for him to be more on the sort of fourth choice option and to be the first defender to come off the bench, possibly.
Yeah, if you're playing 3-4-3, yeah, you can keep hold of him. It's fine.
Yeah, or 3-5-2, one of those options.
Uh-huh.
Um, because that would also enable you to have the freedom to play four at the back if anyone wished to. So we've got possible Sunderland defenders if, depending on your strategy, Spurs defenders. Um,
Tarkowski is the thing because his value. Obviously, we've mentioned it in the previous podcasts. It'd be cheaper to get Kane. He's got more Defcons and £1 million cheaper,
yeah. Um,
or go to other teams.
Yeah, we'll go to other ones. The most obvious, if you wanted to go to a 4.5 million, there are some good options which we'll cover in the potential transfers in bit. Moving on to the midfield, what are your thoughts on Salah and Saka? Reminder for those if you didn't watch our review on Monday, from Monday, which was released yesterday. Um, What are your thoughts? Saka get rid of for Declan Rice, for example, or do you think Saka's a keep hold of for now?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It depends how your team's set up and how much money you've got. They've both unfortunately got similar fixtures where they're harder games on the same week and they're easier games the harder weeks. They're handy to keep hold of as a captain alternative to Haaland in week 12, 14, and 16.
Mm,
But yeah, it's a bit of a dilemma because neither of them are performing for the amount of money that they cost.
yeah,
As you
but
said, there are plenty of other cheaper options out there.
yeah, and people may say, well, Salah's scored in his last two, but then Martinez did literally give him the ball. Um,
Yeah, that was a howler.
yeah. Um, not something he'd want repeated on video over and over and over again in the training, in the Villa training facilities video, put it on recycle. But anyway, going off the point, any other midfielders you want to comment on that of people potentially needing to consider getting rid of?
Reinders obviously a big dilemma at the moment.
Mm.
Obviously, Man City have got all their midfielders back. They obviously played in the Champions League tonight,
Did he
so I
start?
presume he'll be benched. Yeah, he started and got 2 assists after I sold him as well in the Champions League game.
Right, I'm not being funny, right? But what is it about um, English teams? Some of their key players returning in the Champions League. We own them in FPL, and they don't. Saka, Gordon, Reinders,
Did Gordon
Foden.
return today?
Pardon?
Did Gordon get anything today?
He played and got subbed off at about 40 minutes, recurrence of his hip injury. So he started. He was he had moments where he had the beating pace wise of the right back, but yeah, he then started after a couple of bursts at different points, coming back a bit more onto his right and laying the ball off to someone else. So rather than attempted to run into space past a defender. So yeah, that
So he's a transfer out then for this week to think about.
yeah, I suspect so. Those people that do have him in to transfer him out because we're not sure
But
of the severity of the hip problem. And I suspect if the way he played against West Ham, if they then thought, right, okay, we'll try it on Wednesday, and he hasn't lasted a half, then yeah, then I think he would be a suggestion for being transferred out of your team for a midfielder of his price, which I think he started the season 7.5, so he's probably had price drops since then. So I reckon he's probably about 7.4, maybe 7.3, 7.4.
I've not looked. He's not been on my radar this year.
So, but either way, I think there's definitely value in players in the 6.5 to 7 million bracket that could easily come in for Gordon if you don't own them. Those will cover shortly. Um, any other midfielders?
All Man City midfielders, as I said already. Now, obviously,
Uh,
you're going to be very susceptible to Pep Roulette.
mm, Forwards, Gyökeres because of his injury situation. Any other forwards that stand out to you? What are your thoughts on? Well, João Pedro's got a couple of good fixtures, so he's probably a keep for those, I suspect, for those of us that kept him. Um, and
Yeah,
what are your
my
thoughts on
beloved Bowen, I think.
what get rid?
After the Burnley fixture this week, he's got an awful run of fixtures. Although he's a guaranteed 90-minute man, and he's just not performing. And there's plenty of other strikers who are hauling at the moment.
Mm. What are your thoughts on Baltimore going? Because he's quite highly transferred out this week.
Uh-huh. Um, yeah, very disappointing. They only played half, and I thought he was guaranteed more minutes with
Mm.
Wizard out.
It was tactical.
Mhm.
It was a
But yeah,
tactical substitution.
and
Should
he
we
didn't do anything tonight, did he?
few good touches. He had a free header that he just mistimed it slightly. The jump for it,
But
unfortunately.
yeah, he's my likely transfer next week if he doesn't do anything this week. And
Mm, yeah,
I'll discuss
I've
that.
got some
And
thoughts, but he's not necessarily near the top of my priority um, selling list. I've got some others ahead of him, which is tricky to be ahead of him because he's so tall. But then that wouldn't be ahead. That would be ahead above him rather than in front. But I'm rambling. So should we move on to actual transfers in?
How are we doing for time?
Um, Overrunning as normal. So it will most probably be another little sneaky add-on that will then edit as if we've continued straight through.
Okay.
Um, Goalkeepers, safe bet Raya to bring in, but minimal upside because his defense is so good he doesn't get save points. So I would say it's either 2 points or 6 points, but it's more likely to be 6 points every game at the moment.
Yeah. I've read tonight that his wife's pregnant, so he might miss a game somewhere. So it's something to consider.
Interesting. Interesting, something to consider. Any alternative goalkeepers to bring in?
Sanchez, Pope, Henderson from Palace.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a real outside punt. The Manchester United keeper.
that is
I
an
forgot his
outside
name.
punt. That is such an outside punt that I was not expecting. Otherwise I would have got his name down.
It's a Lemons, his name, isn't it?
Lemons.
Or Lemons or something like that, isn't
Right. Apologies to Weasel's
it?
pronunciation of this. If anyone would like to do an audio recording and add it to a comment on how to pronounce his name, would be very much appreciated. And I will try and find it in advance of us recording our team selection video after this one.
I'm here wide awake.
Incoming defenders, you might notice there's been two changes. One, my shoulders aren't blurring into the background. My kitchen was cold, so I put a jumper on, as the dog was also needing the toilet. And in the meantime, Mohammed has woken up and joined us. So, how are you, my friend?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good. It's 8 a.m. here in Malaysia. Wasn't expecting to actually be recording with you guys, but then I got a message from Paul saying you're gonna record the second part, and I am free. So
Yeah, we were later with the first one because I didn't get started watching the Newcastle match till late, so I actually finished that close to 11 o'clock.
Have you pressed record, Matt?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. We're recording. I'm waffling.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't see it
Mohammed,
pop
have
up.
you got any suggestions for defenders to bring in?
well, 100% Arsenal defenders. Gabriel, of course, you need to have him. And if you want to go differential like me, I would suggest Reece James of Chelsea or Chalobah.
Interesting. We had not mentioned him, and I'm not even sure, Paul, if we mentioned Arsenal. I think it's sort of a given that having at least one Arsenal defender in Gabriel as bear in mind essential, really.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is essential.
It's the difference between you and Top because in the last week or so we've had a new admin join the team, and
Rain
Mohammed's not
boys.
best pleased because he's got more points than Mohammed, so you'll no longer need it.
Nah, I'm pleased. I'm happy for him.
But then, to be fair, you're not that far
yeah, I
behind,
mean,
are you?
yeah, I mean, the interesting part is that I'm not far behind, and I'm doing it without any Arsenal defense. If I have even one of them, I think I will got a lot more points.
Hmm. So, other
yeah,
But
done
than
really well.
I will be bringing them.
other than Arsenal defenders, Chalobah, any more, or should we move on to the midfield?
Anderson from Fulham, I think,
Yeah,
some good fixtures. And Burn from Newcastle.
Oh my
Again,
word, have you seen his
yes.
goal from this evening?
no, something at work.
Yes.
Oh my word.
It's Chris Paul.
It it defied the laws of physics. His header defied the
The
laws of,
when I watch
because
when I
Trippier
watch
put
the goal, I
in
kind of think like, oh, okay, should I bring him in?
Trippier floated it in a free kick from the right hand side, sort of slightly f further back outside the 18-yard box. The defensive line was in line with the edge of the penalty area. Burn was just sort of outside that, and he did this loop around. So he approached from the top corner of the penalty area, came in diagonally towards the goal, was completely unmarked, met it with his head, and curled it. The header curled out and back in to the top corner. So, like if someone cut in from the right hand side and curled it around the keeper into the far top corner, he did that with his head.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's
A
like
beautiful goal and a big win.
it was just,
Yeah,
and they had some camera angles where it was right behind the ball, behind him in line to see the curl on it, and also then from behind the goal, that side of the post, so you could see the bend going as well. It was crazy, but that was that. Although I'm not entirely sure this weekend, since our away form is rubbish, and we're away to Brentford, and Thiago's scoring a few, so we'll come on to him in a moment with the forwards. Um, Other thoughts,
Palace
really.
defenders, the only other ones I can think of.
Yeah, and my mind's gone blank. We hadn't actually started defenders when we paused, and I'd done a bit more. So yeah, Mohammed, you mentioned about Chelsea defenders with a couple of nice fixtures coming up. As I almost said David James, not David James. That's from a long
This
time
game.
ago.
It's
Reece
showing
James,
your
No,
age.
this is
Kukurea, Tarkowski. We actually said, despite Everton's having some mixed fixtures in his DEFCON, there's better value for money than in him. So we'd probably argue more towards Michael Keane than Tarkowski.
yeah, I agree with you. 1 million safe.
What um what are your thoughts on comparing Calafiori to Timber at the moment? Either of
Oh,
you?
I think both of them. Yeah, I think for me, both Calafiori and Timber is will be starting for Arsenal. I
Is your signal
You're still
okay?
there.
You've froze you've frozen again, Mohammed. So yeah, these both Timber
Are
and
they the same
Calafiori.
price?
Um, no, Calafiori's I think possibly point 0.2 or point 0.3 cheaper, maybe. Um, but what I've noticed between the two is um,
it's a bit
Timber's data is skewed a little bit by that one those 1 or 2 game weeks where he got massive ball, whereas Calafiori's looking threatening each game. Um, and we've lost Mohammed. He's coming back in, hopefully with
sorry. They got kicked out or something.
with a camera fiddle. Just saying that Timber's data is a little bit skewed in regards to um because of that he had that 24 pointer um
Yes.
at one point where he's scored 2 goals and got a clean sheet or something. Um,
I
Yeah.
think
It's a
for me, I will
no-brainer.
choose Calafiori.
you'd go
Yeah,
for
same here. Obviously, it's cheaper and it's
Yes.
more consistent.
point through saving.
Mhm.
But if you've got Timber, I wouldn't suggest getting rid of him or doing a sideways switch to Calafiori. I think the only reason would be if you've got a spare free transfer and
Yes.
you needed the few bits of pennies to do that. Right, should we move on to the midfield? Thoughts on incoming midfielders? Mohammed, do you want to start us off with this?
I think for me, I'm right now, of course, Chelsea midfielder for the defenders, Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez. But other than that, Declan Rice look nice because of Arsenal, and somehow I may be interested in trying to invest in Manchester United midfield. Obviously, they got Tottenham this week, but after that, they got Everton, Crystal Palace, West Ham, and Wolves. So it's either Bruno Fernandes or Brian Mbomo.
And again, that would depend on that that would depend on people's budget, wouldn't it? Between what,
Yes.
8.3 and 8.9?
Is 8.9.
Yeah, because he took a drop at one point. I think the alternatives really, you've got Paqueta with West Ham having some okay fixtures coming up um, after his performance at the weekend, and with Crystal Palace's fixtures over the next few weeks, Ismail Assar as well.
Yes.
And we spoke as one of our talking points on Monday. So if you want more in-depth discussion without us getting sidetracked on that, we covered Salah and Liverpool from game week 12, I think, and Liverpool assets from then. Although there has been a football match where Liverpool kept a clean sheet and did quite well in last night or
But
yesterday.
they did
Does,
brilliantly against Real Madrid.
does that have any bearing on your opinions, either of you, on Liverpool assets?
Yeah, I think I watched the game and completely transformed how they play. I mean, I'm very happy with how they play against Real Madrid, and now the assets somehow look very nice to have. I think they will be keeping a few clean sheet after this, after in their good fixture run. So Virgil van Dijk look a very tempting option for me right now.
Canate?
Konate also, yes, because I think both of them will be starting every game. So Van Dijk will have a more taking chances, but if you didn't have the budget, then Konate is a cheaper way to go into the Liverpool defender.
Paul?
Yeah, definitely. After the Man City game, they've got Forest, West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds, and Brighton. You couldn't wish for a better run of fixtures. So yeah, we mentioned it on the previous podcast that all Liverpool assets are worth considering, apart from Furtz,
You
who's
know,
not worth the risk.
I actually commented, I think, in the admin chat that I'd completely forgotten that he played football. Um, and whether actually his performances this season classify as playing football, I'm passing judgment on that. I'm basing it solely on data and stats rather than the eye test. Okay, moving on from midfielders to forwards. Is this relatively self-explanatory and
Yes.
obvious? Paul, do you want to start with the forwards?
Yeah, obviously Pedro, Mateta, Haaland if you haven't got him. Um, Obviously Walter a bit of a dilemma at the moment after only playing 45 minutes last game week. But they're the main ones, the main four. I can't see many others apart from Brentford's striker.
Well,
I've forgotten his name.
Thiago on
Yeah,
Yeah,
penalties.
go
On
Thiago.
penalties, 6.2. Marginally cheaper than Danny Welbeck, and I think marginally also more secure for playing the full 90 minutes, whereas Welbeck does, as amazing as he's doing, he's more susceptible to not necessarily rotation, the form he's in, but being subbed off because
uh,
he's
Yeah,
got.
I have the same thought as both of you. No different there.
Mm,
obviously Cooper Junior if you want a cheaper option as the cheap eight for tackers,
Junior
someone
for
to
the.
consider.
4.6.
But Evan Lister coming, we don't know if we're gonna start more
Because
with Evan
Evan
Lister
Nielsen came
returning.
off. Evan Nielsen came off the bench to replace Croupy Jr. at the weekend. I think Evan Nielsen got a good half hour. I think I might be wrong.
They play well.
And it actually the type of forward he is. It suits Semenyo, to be honest, because Evan Nielsen's a lot more unselfish.
Yeah, I
In
agree with you.
that respect. Right. Where you can find us, usual scripting, emails, lowercase, FPL Affairs, no characters, at gmail.com. Our X handle, FPL Affairs. Facebook, the link to our group, if you're not a member of the group, is in this YouTube channel's channel description, so go there, and our YouTube channel if you're seeing this, or just following it by link if you do want to search us in or on YouTube, then make sure you type the @ symbol before FPL Affairs, and then the Spotify long gibberish link there as well. And if you are not member of, no, I'm looking at my screen. That corner down there, which is probably actually more down there for me, and I'm covering my own
Subscribe,
face.
please subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe, hit that bell to be notified each time we release something new. And if you haven't joined our mini leagues, the codes are there too. So, final thoughts on transfer suggestions, transfer ideas, and anything in terms of predictions related for the weekend. Mohammed, if Paul didn't fill you in, he's predicted there are going to be 7 2-2 draws at the week. Sorry, 7 draws at the weekend. 6 of them are going to be 2-2.
7 draws.
That's Paul's
But
prediction.
7-2 draws.
6 2-2 draws and 1-7-7 draw. No, that doesn't make sense. A 1-1 draw between Everton and Fulham, and then 6 2-2 draws.
And I might put an accumulator on it to become a very rich man.
It's your default scoreline. It very much is. Is if you can't decide who's going to win, you just put two. You just say 2-2, unless both teams are rubbish at scoring, and then it's 1-1 or 0-0.
Yeah, pretty much. That's my thought process. Very simple.
So let us know in the comments below. Do you think there's going to be 7 draws at the weekend, and do you think 6 of them are going to be, as many as 6 are going to be 2-2? Let us know. Final thoughts, gents.
Let us know where you found our podcast as well in the comments. We're quite interested to find out whether it was through Facebook or X, or whether you just stumbled across us on YouTube.
Yeah, Mohammed.
And
Well, I think for everyone who is watching, comment down below what your thought is, and we will reach out to you in the next video.
Yeah, and the next video is our team selections, where you've got all 3 of us, and without spoiling, there is a chip that has been activated. If you would like to know what that is,
let's
watch
see
our next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So all that's left for me to say is keep your FPL affairs under wraps until Saturday morning's deadline, or if you feel you wish to comment it below or post it all over social media. Yeah, bye-bye from me.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Assalamualaikum.